Good morning, Primary 4. With you is Miss Umayma Hani, and today we are going to talk about lesson number 1 in concept number 1 in our term, which is talking about energy and device. Energy and device, okay? Do you remember what is the energy? Yes, the energy, it's the ability to do work, and we have many types of energy. Do you remember, or who can give me one example of the energy? Like kinetic energy, potential energy, thermal energy, light, sound energy. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the energy and device. Look into this picture, and who can tell me what is this? This is car. Okay, how can this car move? From this picture, how can this car move? This car can move by remote control. I can control the moving of it by remote control, and it has source of energy help it to move. So this car can move remotely. Remotely mean by remote control. Okay, so this is a car, and this car can move. It has source of energy like battery, and I can control the moving of it by remote control. So this is car can move remotely. Can move remotely. Remotely mean by remote control. Okay. So from where this car can get energy? From where this car can get energy to move? From the battery. This car has battery, help it to move. The battery has energy, give it to the car to help it to move. So this car can get energy from the battery. Again, from where this car can get energy? This car can get energy from the battery. And do you remember which type of energy does the battery has? Which type of energy the battery has? Chemical energy stored inside it. Excellent, Primary 4. So the battery has chemical energy stored inside it. Okay, when we use the battery, when we put the battery inside the car, the chemical energy will change into electrical energy. Excellent, electrical energy. After that, the battery gives the electrical energy to the car to help it to move. So when the car is moving, the electrical energy will change into kinetic energy. So again, one more time, this car can get energy from the battery. It has battery which give it energy. The battery has which type of energy? Chemical energy. Chemical energy stored inside it. When we use the battery, the chemical energy change into electrical energy. After that, the electrical energy helps the car to move. So the electrical energy change into kinetic energy when the car starts to move. Okay, what happened when the battery ran out? What happened if the battery ran out or finished? What can we do? We can replace it with a new one, right? We can take the old battery and replace it by a new one, okay? Or charge it by charger. Okay, so if the battery run out, we can solve this problem by replacing the old one with a new one, or charge it with charger. Okay, so if the battery run out, we can replace it or charge it. Okay, after that, let us start talk about Mars exploring rover. Mars exploring rover. Do you know the Mars planet? Around the sun, there is 8 planets move around it. Okay, there is Earth planet, which we live in it, and there is another planet. One of them is called Mars planet. So there is Earth planet, which we live in it, and the Mars planet. The Mars planet is very, very, very far from the Earth planet. The Mars is very far from the Earth planet which we live in it. To go to or to travel to the Mars planet from the Earth planet, you need 6 months. How many months you needed to go to the Mars planet? You need 6 months to go to the Mars planet. So the Mars planet is very, very, very far from the Earth planet. So if the scientists want to go to the Mars planet, the scientists need 6 months to go. So the scientists didn't go to the Mars planet. The scientists didn't go to the Mars planet, but the scientists sent vehicles and robots to discover the Mars planet. One more time. The Mars planet is very, very far from the Earth planet. So the scientists didn't go to the Mars planet, but the scientists sent vehicles and robots to discover the Mars planet. The vehicles and the robots work remotely. Do you know what is the meaning of remotely? Remotely mean the robot has a source of energy, help it to travel and to move on the Earth's surface, on the Mars surface. Okay, and I can control the moving of it by remote control from the Earth planet. So the scientists on the Earth planet and the robot on the Mars planet, and the scientists can control the moving of the Mars planet by remote control. We can use remote control to control the moving of the robot on the Mars planet. Okay. Like the remote controlled car, the robot like remote controlled car needs remote control to control the moving of it. So one of these robots, which is a scientist make it move or travel to the Mars planet to discover it, is called Mars rover Curiosity. As we can see in this picture, this robot is called the Mars rover Curiosity. Mars rover Curiosity. This robot, the scientist was sent it to the Mars planet to discover it. This robot, like a remote controlled car, needs a source of energy and control the moving of it by remote control by the scientist. Okay, so the scientist sent the Mars rover Curiosity to discover the Mars planet. Okay, from where the Mars rover Curiosity can get energy? Can we use the normal battery to give the Mars rover Curiosity energy to move? No. Why? Because if this battery run out, what can the Mars rover Curiosity do? Can the Mars rover Curiosity replace it to itself? No. Can the Mars rover Curiosity charge it by charger? No. So the Mars rover Curiosity has two sources of energy. How many sources of energy? Two sources. How many sources? Two sources of energy. Give it energy. Okay. Number one. As we can see here, this is Mars rover Curiosity on the Mars surface. Okay, and the Mars rover Curiosity has two types of energy, two types or two sources of energy. Number one, the solar panels. The solar panels, as we can see in this picture, the solar panels consist of solar cells, many solar cells. Okay, and this is called the solar panels. The solar panels takes the solar energy from the sun, which is the light energy from the sun, and change it into electrical energy. So one more time, source number one in the Mars rover Curiosity, which help it to move, the solar panels. The solar panels take the solar energy from the sun and change it to the electrical energy, change it into electrical energy. After that, the electrical energy is stored inside the battery. So the battery charged by the solar panels. Okay, the solar panels take the solar energy from the sun, which is the light energy, and change it into electrical energy. The electrical energy charge the battery. After that, the battery now has electrical energy, so it helps the Mars rover Curiosity to move. When the Mars rover Curiosity move, the electrical energy change into kinetic energy and thermal energy produced due to motion. Okay, so one more time, the Mars rover Curiosity has two sources of energy. Number one, solar panels. The solar panels take the solar energy from the sun and they change it into electrical energy. The electrical energy charges the battery, so the battery helps the Mars rover Curiosity to move. So the electrical energy, when the Mars rover Curiosity moves, the electrical change into kinetic and thermal energy. Okay. Number two, Changing of energy. Let's start talk about changing of energy. This is very easy. The changing of energy mean how can the energy change from one form to another form in different devices. Let's start with the hair dryer. The hair dryer, as we can see in this picture. How can I make the hair dryer work? I can make it work by electricity. I need electricity. I need electrical energy to make the hair dryer work. So the input energy, what is the meaning of input energy? Input energy mean the energy which enter, the energy which go in the device and make it work. The energy which go in the device and make it work, the energy which makes the device work is called input energy. Input energy. So the input energy in the hair dryer is the electrical energy. The electrical energy makes the hair dryer work. After that, when the hair dryer works, the electrical energy will change into thermal energy because I can feel heat, and also sound energy. I can hear sound from the hair dryer. So the thermal and the sound energy are called output energy. Output means the energy which produce, the energy which go out from the device, the energy which produce from the device. So the thermal and the sound energy are output energy. Okay. Number 2, suspenser. The suspenser, inside the suspenser there is a spring. Do you remember the spring? When I press on the spring will store potential energy. After that, when I take my hand away from the spring, the spring will move up, so the potential is changed into kinetic energy. So the suspenser works by spring, and when I press on the suspenser, the potential energy will store, and after that it will change into kinetic energy. So the input energy, the energy which helps the dispenser to work is potential energy, and the output energy, the energy which produced from the dispenser, is a kinetic energy. So number 3, washing machine. The washing machine works by electricity. So the input energy is electrical energy. It needs electricity to make it work, and the output energy is kinetic energy and sound energy, because electricity will make the washing machine start to move, and also I can hear sound. So the kinetic and the sound energy are output energy, the output energy of the washing machine. And as we can see in this picture, make like this. When you rub your hand, when you move your hand like this, the kinetic energy from moving your hand will change into thermal energy, because there is heat will produce. You can feel heat when you move your hand like this. You can feel heat. So the kinetic energy due to motion will change into thermal energy. Finally, let's start talk about the energy chain. The energy chain. What is the meaning of energy chain? Energy chain means it is a way to describe how can the energy flow. The energy flow. What is the meaning of that? How can the energy change from one form to another form? Like when you rub your hand or you move your hand, the kinetic energy will change into thermal energy. So the kinetic change into thermal. One type of energy will change into another type. This is called energy chain. So the energy chain, it is the way to describe the energy flow. The energy flow. Okay, so let's start talk about the energy chain when you eat the food. And we must know that the energy chain always starts with the sun. always start with the sun, because the sun, it's the main source of energy. It's the main source of energy on the Earth planet. So any energy chain start with the sun. Any energy chain start with the sun. So let's start to talk about the energy chain when you eat the food. At the first, the energy chain start with the sun. The sun give me light energy. So the plants take the light energy and change it into chemical energy. Change into chemical energy in the plant. So the plant store chemical energy. The plant takes the light from the sun and change it into chemical energy. When you eat the food, you can take energy. Okay, this energy help you to move, to work, to play, to study. So when you eat the food, you will move. Okay, you can move and work. So the chemical energy will change into kinetic energy during moving. So one more time, the energy chain always start with the sun. The sun gives me light energy. The plants take this light energy and change it into chemical energy. The chemical energy will change into kinetic energy when you eat the food and start to move. Okay, number 2, the energy chain when you heat the water, when you boil some water. At the first, any energy chain start with the sun. Excellent. Primary 4. So the sun give me light energy. The plants and the trees take this light energy and change it into chemical energy stored inside it, right? After that, I can cut the trees and take the wood from them and burn the wood. Burn the wood to make fire and boil the water. So the chemical energy when you burn the wood will change into thermal energy. This is the energy chain when you boil the water. The light energy change into chemical energy, change into thermal energy when you burn the wood. Finally, the energy chain in the hair dryer, and always the energy chain start with the sun. So the sun gives the plants light energy. The plants take the light energy and change it into chemical energy. Change it into chemical energy. After that, the plants will grow and still grow and still grow up, and after that the plants will die, right? Okay, so the plants will grow at the first and grow up, and after that it will die. After million of years under the earth's surface, this dead plant changed into coal. So again, the light energy from the sun, the plants take it and store it in the shape of chemical energy. The plants still grow and grow and grow up, and after that the plants will die. The plants will die. Okay, after millions of years under the earth's surface, the dead plants will change into coal. As we can see in this picture, this is the coal. Okay, so the coal is produced from the remains of the dead trees over millions of years under the earth's surface. So when the plants die, and after millions of years under the earth's surface, the dead plants change into coal. The coal has which type of energy? The coal is a dead plant, so it has chemical energy. After that, I can take the coal and burn it, and put it in the electrical power station. As we can see in this picture, this system is called the electrical power station. Electrical power station. Okay, and I can take the coal and burn it. So the coal will boil the water. There is water inside the tubes in the electrical power station. So the coal will boil the water, and the water will produce vapor. This vapor give me or produce thermal energy. So I can take the coal and burn it to boil the water. The water will boil and produce thermal energy. The thermal energy makes the turbine, as we can see in this picture. This is called the turbine. The turbine looks like a fan. It can move very fast. The thermal energy makes the turbine start to move very fast. When the turbine moves, it makes the generator also move. And this is called generator. This is called turbine, and this is called generator. When the turbine will move by the thermal energy, it makes the generator also move. So the generator will change the kinetic energy due to motion into electrical energy, and the electricity will produce and go through the copper wire and make all the devices work. One more time, primary 4. At the first, the sun gives us light energy. The plants take this light and they change it into chemical energy. The plants will die and change into coal under the earth's surface. We can take this coal to burn it and boil the water. The water will produce, when the water boil, it will produce thermal energy. The thermal energy makes the turbine start to move. After that, the generator will also move also like the turbine and change the kinetic energy into electrical energy. The electricity will produce and go through the copper wire to make all the houses and all the devices work. Okay. As we can see in this picture, the water will boil and makes the turbine move and makes the generator also move to change the kinetic into electrical energy. Finally, the electricity will produce and go through the copper wire to make all the devices work like the hair dryer. And this is the system, as we can see in this picture. The system is called the electrical power station. Finally, some of the energy is lost or escaped during the energy chain. When the energy changes from one form to another form, there is energy will lost or escape during this changing. Most of this energy is heat energy. So again, during the changing of the energy from one form to another form, there is energy can escape or lost. Okay, most of this energy is the heat energy. So the heat energy during the energy chain always is lost energy or escape energy. Okay, and finally, can you remember? When I say the energy cannot be destroyed, the energy cannot be destroyed, but it can change from one form to another form. What is the meaning of that? Like in the energy chain of the hair dryer, the light energy change into chemical. That means that the light it change into chemical. The light energy doesn't destroy it, but it just change into chemical energy. The chemical energy not destroyed, but it change into thermal energy. So the energy doesn't destroy, but it change into another form. So again, the energy cannot be destroyed, but it can change from one form to another form. Finally, thanks for listening. Primary 4 with you is Miss Umayma Hani, and goodbye.